racing and Army connection evolved into me actually having a little bit of a racing career. Over the years, between the time we had a research and development agreement, we tested a lot of different things like fluids and coatings and all kinds of things in which we're actually picking up efficiencies and reducing vibrations and that kind of thing, and transferring that from racing to helicopters and vice versa. And I also, in the middle, I actually got my master's in pit stop maintenance. During that whole time, I kind of evolved my love for racing into getting my master's degree in systems engineering, where my thesis was actually pit stop engineering. And so I kind of related pit stop maintenance into how we could evolve Army maintenance. And so all this was going along. In about 2008, Brad, Francis, and myself, our friendship was kind of growing, and we had a research and development agreement where we were testing all these different things between the Army and Roush. And he knew I love Mustangs, and so if you know anything about me, it was since I was 10 years old. I was going to have a Mustang, and I had Mustang magazines, and I have a stack this high to this day of old magazines of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And I knew Jack Roush, and I knew Mark Martin, and I followed Ford Racing and Doug Yates and Robert Yates, and so it was just a dream come true just to be in the same room as these guys. And so 2008, Brad comes to me and says, Jack Roush Jr. is going to form a road race team. They have Mustangs. You like Mustangs, right? And I'm like, yeah, I like Mustangs. Well, you want to try to be our race engineer? And I'm like, I have never road raced a Mustang in my life, much less anything else. Done some drag racing, doesn't quite translate. So anyway, he said, let's try you out. So 2008, end of the fall, he says, let's go to Daytona and test. We're going to test. And so sure enough, we're there. January 2009, we're there at the Roar before the 24, and I'm on a pit box learning a new software, data collection software called AIM, and learning about road racing and learning about all the channels that I'm collecting on this FR500C chassis with Jack Roush Jr. And sure enough, Jack Roush Sr. is there with us, and I'm there trying to learn how to do road racing on the fly, trial by fire, with one of your heroes right on the pit box with you. So anyway, I'm there picking up all these channels that we're getting off of the race car, which actually turned out really good because we could actually test a lot of the things we were doing with the Army, throw them in the car, and I could see the data right off of the car. But anyway, so Continental Tire Series 2009, I'm there, Jack Roush Jr., January 2009, and I'm on the pit box doing race engineer stuff, doing the pit calls, fuel mileage stuff, making sure I don't run Jack Roush Jr. out of fuel with Jack Roush Sr. sitting right beside me. This little kid from Alabama, you know, and so anyway, long story short, we finished third that race, and it ended up being a side career for me for about 6 years, in which we raced in the Continental Tire Series, FR500C. We raced Boss 302Rs, and ended up being a really successful team. We won about 10 or 11 races over the next 4 or 5 years with that team. We actually got the 400th win for Roush Racing with that car, with Jack Roush Jr. and Billy Johnson in the car. And so it was really cool to be able to take a passion that I had that from 10 years old, and I've had a couple of Mustangs over the years, and just to be able to turn it into to relate it to my job and be able to do good things for the Army and be able to race for Ford, race for Roush, and really have some really good success. So it's been a really good time.